What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Jigsaw Files, your home for all things Saw. I have a little bit of a Saw 11 update for you, kind of, and if you guys are new here, this is not a channel that breaks news. News breaks, and I give my thoughts, my opinion on whatever news just happens to break. I am not in the business of breaking news myself. Also, this is not one of those channels that does a video on every little rumor, whisper, all these things like that I hear. No disrespect to those who do. It's just that this isn't one of those channels. That's not what this is for. There's plenty of other channels out there for that. But what we're going to be talking about today is in that Saw rumor mill. But this is coming from a source that's proven time and time again to be very reliable. This is a source that I personally trust. So again, until we get 100% confirmation one way or the other on these things that we're going to be talking about in this video, then take anything that I am about to say with a grain of salt. But this is sources that I trust. So not too long ago, I did a little video about what we know about Saw 11 so far. We got a little bit of an idea of where things might be picking up. We know that Kevin Greuter is returning to direct. We know that Josh Stolberg and Pete Goldfinger will not be writing this one. It looks pretty clear to me that Costas Mandylor's back as Hoffman, Tobin back as Jigsaw, and probably Shawnee back as Amanda. But again, some of that's been confirmed, some of it's still just in the rumor mill. But other than that, it's been complete silence on Saw 11. Now, I know what you're thinking. Saw has always been tight-lipped when it comes to their production. They've been doing that since the very beginning. I remember I was around in those days. I was on the House of Jigsaw message board. So I am fully well aware, before you guys start going in the comments, of how the Saw productions typically work. But this particular silence is a little bit worrisome because even with a tight-lipped production like the Saw films, it's still a little bit quieter than usual, and we're not really sure why. So today we're asking what is going on behind the scenes right now of Saw 11. We've got no casting announcements, although that's typically pretty normal. We don't really hear too many of them until we get a little bit further into like the filming stages of things. But you would think that, Tobin would be confirmed, Shawnee would be confirmed, Cecilia would be confirmed to return, whatever. And we don't even have none of that. And the movie is currently slated for September, so obviously there's a script out there. We know that Josh and Pete are not returning to write. But somebody did, and again, as I said in my previous video, we don't have 100% confirmation, but I'm 99.99999% sure that's most likely Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan returning to write the script. But again, it's just a little strange to me that we don't even have confirmation on who wrote this thing. But what's a little concerning for me is that the movie is 6 months away and they still haven't even started shooting yet. Again, I'm fully aware that the Saw franchise has always had pretty quick turnarounds. They put out a movie every single year for 7 years straight, so typically it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but with all the other silence surrounding this movie, it is a little bit worrisome. So this begs the question, why have we heard nothing? And the big rumor going around right now, and I can't stress this enough, this is a rumor. Yes, it's coming from a source that I trust, which is coming from a source that he trusts, but at the end of the day, they are still just rumors. And from what I'm hearing, it's a little bit of a too many cooks in the kitchen type of situation. Now, before everybody starts freaking out in the comments, one, studio interference is a thing for every single movie. Every single movie has had some kind of studio interference. And sometimes that makes the movie better, and sometimes it makes the movie worse. We typically only hear about the situations where they tend to make the situations worse. And apparently, from what I'm hearing, this is one of those, like, where they're interfering and it's not looking good type of situation. But here's the thing that I quite don't understand about this whole thing. And the rumors aren't specific of what kind of problems are going on right now. I don't think it's quite story differences because Mark and Oren have done interviews with Kevin around the time that Saw X was released. And they kind of teased a little bit that they know kind of where they're going, at least roadmap wise, for both Saw 11 and maybe even Saw 12. Also, when I had a chance to sit down with Kevin Greuter last year before the release of Saw X, and he was talking about he didn't want to do Saw X unless he really loved it. Obviously he really loved it. He did the film and the film's great. So I imagine that it would be the same type of situation for Saw 11. I don't think Kevin would agree to come back unless he absolutely loved what they were doing. So it seems like Mark and Oren, the producers at Twisted Pictures, knew where they were going. It seems like the writers obviously knew where they were going because they had to turn in the script very quickly. It seems like Kevin Greuter's got a good idea of where things are going. So all that looks fine. So I don't really know if this is a situation where they're having creative differences over the story. Maybe they are. Maybe they started to get some new ideas and they wanted to go in there and change some stuff. And some other people are just like, no, we don't want to change it. Like, we like what we have now kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know if this is a situation where the crew is being treated unfairly. The source really wasn't clear on that. I honestly don't even think my source knows the specifics. I heard another possible rumor about them probably not being able to shoot in Mexico. Again, I don't know how true that is. Just things that I'm hearing around the Saw space. And I'm doing this video in the first place because, like I said, these are rumors that I do unfortunately believe. One, because the source has been proven to be reliable in the past. Two, because this is not the first time that Mark and Oren over at Twisted Pictures have done something like this. And remember how I said that sometimes studio interference can be a good thing and it actually makes the movie better? History has proven that whenever Mark and Oren start to interfere a little more than they probably should, it doesn't exactly turn out well for them. Whether that's the quality of the film, whether it underperforms at the box office, there's usually a reason. And I'm not saying producers can't interfere. No, they're producers. It's their movie. They're the ones who are greenlighting the movie in the first place. They're putting up all the funding. You know, they're helping getting the crew together. It's their movie. I would interfere a little bit too. But you have to let your creative team do what they do best. You have to be able to trust your crew, trust your creative team, all that stuff. So the question does become, what is going to happen with Saw 11? With all this going on, allegedly, is the movie still going to come out in September and they haven't even started shooting yet? Honestly, I don't know. Like I said, Saw is usually pretty good about quick turnarounds. They can get something out there pretty quickly. But there is a possibility that this thing could get delayed. Maybe a year, maybe a month, who knows? I hope it doesn't get delayed, but I also would rather have the movie be delayed a little bit and get a good quality product in the process. But I understand there's like locations and budget and all these different things that you would have to rework in order to delay the thing, and I understand that sometimes that's not usually an option. But on a more positive note, we haven't gotten any news that there's going to be a delay either. So I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping the film doesn't get delayed and they figure things out and everything gets back on track soon. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they announce tomorrow that Saw 11 gets a little bit of a delay. Again, whether that's a month, maybe that's a year, I don't know. And honestly, I'm not here to point fingers at anybody. I'm not here to blame anybody because I don't know 100% the situation. I don't know specifics. I don't think my source knows the specifics, and if they do, they aren't saying anything. And I know this Saw community is freaking the hell out right now, and understandably so, you know. It's not a good thing to hear. But I do think, like every other fandom that gets a little crazy when something goes down, I think people are over-exaggerating a little bit, but hey. Another interesting thing, this one's just more kind of funny to me, honestly. So, in the last video, I was talking about how Casas Mandalore put on his Instagram that he and Tobin were going to be back for the next Saw film, and they were very excited. And I said in that video that I don't think Casas was supposed to say anything. So that was kind of confirmation, but if that didn't confirm it for you, it seems like this does. And although I don't know if Casas was supposed to say anything, that's the thing. I don't think he was supposed to say anything because that Instagram post has since been removed. So again, guys, I'm doing this video because this is what I'm hearing in the Saw rumor mill from sources that I trust and things that I actually believe are happening. But let me know. Let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling on this whole thing. Do you think the movie's going to get delayed? Do you guys think that they're going to get things back on track and the movie will still come out in September? Would you want the film to be delayed? And if that means getting a better quality product. Let me know in the comments section below. And if you guys are new here and you love Saw, this is a page for all things Saw. So go hit that subscribe button, hit that like button because that helps push things along in the algorithm. Hit the notification bell because that helps you guys stay up to date to everything and anything we do here on the Jigsaw Files. And with all that down, guys, that's all I can say for today. So until next time, game over.